From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher, and their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher, and our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Scripchuk. Their mission: to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Welcome to the Garage Heroes in Training Podcast. I'm going to be one of the hosts for this episode, and I know nothing about what happened. Who else is hosting?
I'm Vicki.
And I'm Jennifer.
And our apparently adopted guest slash host slash if we come up with another quiz for some number of podcasts and you don't guess that Jeff Stobbs has the most appearances on our podcast, you're not very good at math. Welcome back to the podcast.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeff, you're here. That usually means, not always, but usually means some type of rally has transpired recently.
Yes, the 2023. It's weird saying 2000 and then like a double-digit number still, even though it's been going on for 20 years. Anyway, 2023 Fall Failage.
It's only been 14 years. You're fine.
It's still just weird.
Yes.
I remember I was writing a date somewhere and I put in 19 and I'm like, oh, that's terrible. Anyway.
Yeah.
Whoopsie. Part of being old. So Fall Failage, that means you were invaded by at least one Wilson sister, perhaps more.
Correct.
Yep.
The whole group.
We end up going. We brought Mom along with this one, and Jennifer joined me for this particular Fall Failage. And I really must put out there, I have a new appreciation for what Jeff does, because it is not easy. It is not an easy job. It is
being Jeff.
It is not easy being Jeff. I have a new appreciation for the level of exhaustion this man goes through when he does these things.
Yeah, I usually need like a day to recover. So that was yesterday mostly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I tell my wife not to expect very much out of me.
Mm-mm. No.
And it's not to be mean. It's just like I'm dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, during it, through it, and then the after parties,
Yep.
everybody is just exhausted. They're just exhausted, and they're just like food in their mouth, a couple, but it is not like lemons in the paddock. Let's put it that way.
No, because lemons in the paddock, you go do your 2-hour stint, and I don't know about you, but if, my race car ever breaks down when Kevin finally finishes the race car, like I'm not going to be the one to work on it. Like he's going to be the one. I'll watch him work. I'll probably hold like a Pepsi while he works, but it won't be me. So you get breaks in the paddock,
right.
And on the rally there are no breaks.
No, there is not. So
All right.
that was a new thing for me. I mean, more so this year than last year to experience.
Miss Dozer.
Yeah.
Miss Jen, this was your first ever rally. So tell us, what was it? What did you expect, and what did you end up getting?
It was everything I thought it would be. It was so much fun. I had a blast. Yeah, I mean, it was great. I got to ask, Jeff, who puts it together, the stops together for the rally?
Usually it's just me.
You?
But on this one, Eric sent me a document that I renamed Eric's like checkpoints, because there was like a lot of checkpoints. I think he was bored on one day, and there's a lot of checkpoints. So I go through all of them, make sure you guys aren't going to die.
The Stephen King stuff was amazing. That was awesome. Like that was such a cool thing to do. Like it was the best. It was really great to go and see that stuff. You just kind of wish you had more time to sit sit and visit it and look at the places. But they were really great stops. Like, it was so awesome. Stuff I never even knew was there. So so it was more than what I expected in that sense. It was so cool. Like, I was expecting, I mean, there were some really quirky stops, but like they all like were really cool. So it was fun. It was great.
Sounds like they had a good time, Jeff. Job well done.
Had a great time.
And then mom.
And then mom. I mean, I will say, people of Maine, are you okay?
Yeah. Are you okay up there? Like, serious?
Are you okay out there?
Actually,
there
Maine
were some crazy people rolling through town, and we were honking that horn, and it was playing the bagpipe. They didn't even look.
It didn't even faze them. Just didn't even faze Maine whatsoever. They're like, oh, another set of weird tourists.
Another day.
Right.
Yeah, Maine and Alaska. I mean, if you remember, I had mentioned that Alaska, like that was a very serious place, and Maine apparently has the same mindset.
Right.
It was bizarre. I was actually surprised. We'd only kind of brushed up against Maine last year. And I think Alan did the Fall Failage before that. It was a lot more full than I thought it would be. There was no, like, I mean, there was some empty space, but there wasn't a lot of empty space. There was, houses every, less than, I mean, like every eighth of a mile, there was a driveway. So,
just
and
like
that's
Alaska.
No, there was lots of empty in Alaska.
upper Maine was pretty barren up there.
No, you have to realize is that my reference point for barren is like the middle of the desert in Nevada.
Right.
Where there's where there's sign that says next gas 90 miles. So
maybe.
Yeah. So I was really surprised with, yes, it is. I do agree. It is East Coast barren. Northeast barren.
Northeast.
Compared to West Virginia, it is not. But it is Northeast barren for sure. But there was definitely a lot more people than I thought there were going to be.
I think you may have alienated several people from West Virginia by calling them East Coast, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Literally growing up in a state the size of the entire East Coast almost, I just see it all as East Coast.
Right.
West Virginia is close enough to the coast.
It was absolutely beautiful, though. Like everything was gorgeous. I mean, different, northern and southern Maine. It was just gorgeous.
So was there?
I do think
fall foliage.
I think we missed it by about 3 days.
Yeah, it really wasn't glorious, but everything was still pretty. The trees and the woods, and there's a lot of Victorian houses and the cedar shingles on the houses, and I mean, it was just really pretty. If you've never been to Maine, it's definitely worth the trip. And antique stores, oh my gosh.
Yep. Every time you entered a town, there was at least half a dozen.
Yeah.
They might not have a grocery store, but they got an antique store.
Yeah,
that's right.
I've learned through the Rust Belt Rally that if you're starting to see lots of antique stores, the city's not doing as well as it could be.
Antiques in quotes, is that what we're saying?
Yeah, it's just whatever was in grandma's attic, really. So,
all right, so ladies, you're talking about a car and a theme, and nobody knows what you're talking about unless they follow our Instagram at Garage Heroes in Training.
Oh yes, our theme that we stepped out at was Scottish, just Scotland, and our car was plaid. We were plaid. There was so much plaid.
There was so much plaid.
So much plaid. And then we took the teacups with us, and then we periodically handed out shortbread and played our bagpipe horn, and it just did not faze me whatsoever.
Horn of the car, correct?
Yes. Okay. So it was a pretty good theme, I think. It was.
We did have some Johnny Walker red because we can't afford black, and we never even touched it. We
No, we
planned
were.
on like sharing, but
It just
no,
was not. It was just not the venue
we were
for it. I have to say.
dead at the end of the day.
That's right. So
So,
anyway, that's what we had done. It was awesome.
so I will say this for you, Jeff. I'm gonna give you glory now. The answers that you give me occasionally for do you want to do a podcast tonight were much more PG friendly than the answers I got from the ladies when I said, "Hey, are we doing a podcast tonight?"
Uh, yeah. Well,
I'm
We're
not.
tired.
I'm
we
not
were
the
very
most
tired.
creative person, so
Okay.
I try to
They,
keep it nice.
they were conjugating their verbs. Let's go with that.
Oh, got it.
Yes. Apparently, my anatomy is quite flexible. That's all I'm saying. That's all
Fair
I'm
enough.
saying. Anyway. So Jeff, how about some good entries, some standouts, maybe some rental cars, anything?
We had 3 rental cars this time. We had a Ford F-150 driven by Nice Marmot. Their theme was the Big Lebowski.
Mm.
They had it at the judging part, but they didn't stick to it throughout the whole rally. So we know how I feel about that. But they did really look like John Goodman and Jeff Daniels. So that was pretty crazy. It was like, oh wow, you guys
Yeah.
look like them.
They do. They did a really good job with that.
Yeah,
Inconsistent theming is like a black BMW in a race,
correct. No, it's that bad theme is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it, what was the other team that had the rental? There was a Mustang, and I can't find them on my score sheet right now, but it was a blue convertible with a 4-cylinder. They told me they had a great time. It looked like they had a good time. The weather was nice, so they got to keep the top down. As far as I know, they didn't get pulled over, so that's good.
And then you guys were going to get a tropical storm there for a while.
We passed them a few times. I mean, and then they'd pass us. I mean, we're around them a few times.
They really liked each other, which was nice. It's always nice when people like each other. Mm-hmm. And then the Maniacs, they were in a 2011 Corvette from Turo with completely bald rear tires, which on the last day when it was raining was really good. Sure. But they stayed in theme the entire time, dressed up as their generational Batman. So it was a father and son, and the son, he kept with the Dark Knight theme, and dad kept with the 60s television show theme.
Adam West.
And it was really great. They went on the last day. They actually missed a lot of checkpoints because they're from Bangor, but they got all the checkpoints in my head when they went to their father/grandfather's nursing home, dressed him up as Robin, and then took him to see all of his neighbors. Oh. So, yeah, that's a quick way to a lot of points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it looked like
missing's a train.
Yeah. So Grandpa, it looks like it went pretty well for him. Awesome. So those were our rentals. The ones that were really great isn't really all that surprising. The 59 Edsel Ranger, they won first. The 73 Dodge Coronet, another old car. Actually, it was in really good shape, though. They got it from Virginia. Though its electronic ignition was leaking, which I didn't know that could happen. They got second. And then there's this really trashy Ford ambulance that's been on a couple rallies. And in the past, they would skip a lot of checkpoints. But this time they hit them all, so they ended up with third. And then, of course, the weirdos in the Sunrunner that hang out with the Garage Hero and training people.
Mm-hmm.
They were great. What else did I like? The Dispatch Racing was in a SC 300 98. That was pretty good. Devil's Ride was in a 55 Ford mainline coupe, but of course it had the Ellis motor engine swap like every 55 everything. But they were really good. They were really good at playing rally. They just missed a lot of checkpoints. Oh, we also had like a raked MGB that had motorcycle carbs,
mm-hmm.
and that stuck out of the hood. It was weird. Had really big back tires. Apparently they like to take it to British car shows to offend British people. So that was great.
Say, the British car person that you are, how did this go over with you?
I drive route rods. Like, I think it's your car, do what you want with it. I don't like I'm a big supporter of concourse dilemmas, but I kind of find all the rest of them a little ridiculous. Kind of just seems like rich guys showing off. So I thought it was great. We had another MGB from Tempting Fate. That was John Volecker. So him and the Isuzu Stylus guys. John was in a Riley, which I barely kind of knew existed. The 1.5, which was supposed to be the replacement for the Morris Minor, but didn't work out because Morris Minors were selling. And then they convinced their friend, the Stylus guy, who is notorious for his collection of Isuzu Styluses, to buy an MGB. And apparently that guy is, I wouldn't say, he hasn't changed sides quite yet, but he definitely is now an MGB fan.
Mm-hmm.
So those were great. Yeah, there was good cars on this one.
Awesome. Miss Jen, who was in your pack besides our friends in the Sunrunner?
We had those yuppies.
Yuppies.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Tarpe Diem. They did a great job with their theming also.
Yeah.
So like on the first day, they were like day traders. On the second day, they were kind of like in skiing outfits, kind of.
Yeah, they were jogging suits.
Yeah.
Well, no, the third day was like jazzercising, I think, because they had like ankle warmers. It might have been like going to a concert.
They were so funny.
It was funny. They were great.
I heard they ran out of themes and just went dressed normal for the third day.
I mean, that's possible.
I asked Audra, I'm like, where did you find that outfit? She's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, they were pretty great. And they kept up with, and even on the second day when the team, I ran into you guys and you were definitely going the wrong way. They were still having a good time. Yeah. You added like 4 hours to your day. We're
just following the guys.
Uh-huh. Well, they're engineers.
And they're freaking Garmin.
Engineers engineering.
Mm-hmm.
And the Garmin. Oh my gosh.
Garmin.
There are good decisions and bad decisions. We know which one that falls under.
The best way, I mean, Garmin's work, but the thing is that it's not going to show you our madness. So honestly, just get, you guys usually just do Northeast. Just get a bunch of Delorme Gazetteer atlases. They're like $20 a pop. Mm-hmm. And you can lay it down and look up the cities, and then it's a lot easier to figure out, where you're going to go.
Right.
You can't just put them in the Garmin in order, right?
Correct, because they were technically backwards on the paper.
Mm-hmm.
Narratively, it fit, so we were fine with doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it was a good trip. It was a lot of fun.
It really was a lot of fun.
That was
more than what I expected.
You know what? When I was judging all the cars and everything, the Etzel, somebody brought an Etzel.
Yeah, the Ranger. They ended up winning.
That was pretty good, and of course the little green car.
Yeah, that's the Riley. That's John.
Yeah.
He's the one that won Organizer's Choice.
Right. Those were two of the amazing cars. They were in pretty good shape. And then of course we had the young kids who were driving, what was it, like a Taurus wagon? It looked like?
Oh no, the Subaru.
The Subaru. This thing.
Yeah. It just kept on braking constantly.
The whole time. But they had such a good attitude about it.
Well, kind of. At the very beginning of the rally, they asked me, "Can you help us find these checkpoints?" And I was like, "No."
No.
That's the whole point of this thing. It's for you to find them, weirdos. And then, eventually, I think they figured it out.
Yeah. It was a guy, his little cousin, and his girlfriend.
Yeah, the cousin was a minor, so he was like
Yeah.
16 or 17.
Yeah.
So the cousin's the one that asked. So I don't think
Mhm.
he knew the whole deal.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
Mhm.
I remember those guys sticking out. And of course, then who was the Donovan and Max, I think it was. They were Max, I
The
don't know,
kid,
but
Max.
they were in no, not that one. They were in the red car, the old red car. It was the older gentleman and his
Oh
son.
yeah,
Devin and Ron.
Devin and Ron.
Devin and Ron.
Devin and Ron. They
Yes,
had
and
this.
they wore the little black leather caps.
yeah, the
Yeah, they had
MGB. That was the weird. That's the weird MGB.
right.
You can't. You should know by now that you can't refer to people by their names. We all know each other by car.
Right. So
But Jeff,
it was really funny about
when she refers to the car, she's only telling you what color it is. So
I mean, I still knew.
right.
The red
But
car.
they end up having to pull off because their brake system locked or it was overheating. So I remember, I'm not sure what area we had come out of, but they were just saying, everybody had pulled off to kind of help, and they're like, it's a pin, their brakes aren't releasing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the rally, still has some kind of the same race rules that if you're going to put go fast parts on it, you have to do it for the entire system. You can't just do, know, some hot carburetors and some exhaust work and some other stuff and then expect the horrible brakes that are already horrible to work.
Well, that's what we were experiencing with the Sunrunner, is that we had to climb the mountain and then come down the mountain. All right. And that little Sunrunner, he had tires that were 10-inch bigger than should have been on the car.
Well, he extended it 9 inches. There's 9 inches of extra body on it or frame on it. It's insane.
But what he was saying was happening with his car, especially going down the hill, was that he either had to save the brakes, going down the hill, but for as big as the tires were, they were overworking his engine.
Yeah.
So his engine head, the top of his engine valve cover was like red hot. It was good. Red hot. So
that's a good plan.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, well, then there's. I'm like, and we were sitting at the pub that night about it. I was like, I never considered that. I never considered that the bigger tires would make your engine work harder like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. So his was a little bit extreme, but that was pretty funny with him and that trying to get up the mountain.
And through the state park. What state park was it?
I don't know, but it just kept going up. Oh my God. And every time we thought we were at the top, but we weren't at the top of it. I'm like, and it was sharp. Oh my God. And then going down the hill.
Vicki get on the radio, she'd be like, oh God, Ryan. It doesn't end.
Yeah, I was feeling bad for him in his car because it was just really had to work to get up those hills. More Ryan.
That was Hurricane Road or Hurricane Hill. I don't remember. And
it was wonderful.
That was a good find.
No,
well, they had just repaved it, which I didn't know they were going to do.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So
we only had one checkpoint that didn't work out this time, and that was the Snark missile pads. We had checked, we had looked at all our satellite images and looked at all of our resources, and everyone said they were still there. But when I rolled up, they were building a solar panel farm over the top of them. So that was the end of that.
What was that one little store that we stopped at? The Way store or something?
The Way store.
Way store. They were really thankful that we were there.
Yeah, I noticed that most people get pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Any other big breakdowns or any notable breakdowns?
The Cavalier, which had 4 luxury sized men in it, so luxury size that the rear end was dragging. They broke down the first day, and I'm sorry, it was a Caprice Classic. No, it wasn't a Caprice Classic. It was a Cavalier. I never saw them, so I don't know what happened to their car. Something happened to their car. I'm not sure what.
So they didn't even complete day one?
No. they ended up
Wow.
in Bangor on day 2, and they were still working on their car. And then the other car that broke down, they lost their brake booster. That was the Caprice wagon.
Okay.
And it's like some very specific kind of brake booster. Like, it's a Chevy part. You think that they would just be at AutoZone like all the other Chevy parts, but apparently they only use this one for a very short amount of time, and it was only in the wagons and then in Astro vans for a very short period of time. So they were just kind of stuck. They didn't want to go out because they had lost their power brakes, and they didn't really trust to be able to stop in time and not die. So those were our 2 biggest breakdowns, but they both made the best of it. They drove around Bangor and got some checkpoints and did some stuff. So that was our 2 big ones.
We also had the the ambulance.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but that was before the rally. So
yeah.
But I don't care before the rally.
They pulled a bish.
They pulled it. No, they pulled it out. They ended up fixing whatever they want, and they kind of made it to the finish line, which was, I thought they were done for.
Yeah, so did I. They lost their power steering pump in the parking lot of the suggested hotel the night before. But they ended up being able to fix it.
Right.
And finished what, 4th or 3rd?
They got 3rd.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So they broke before the rally, but still managed to get into the rally. So that's not a bish then. That's different.
That's right.
Okay.
They just followed through.
Okay. All right. Very well. That's all right. Or they got more help than we are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they were local. So
maybe. So Jeff, it's time. Hotel rating game.
Captain's log supplemental.
So, Bill, guess what?
What?
We did the Sentinel. We did the Sentinel.
We did.
How
did you like it?
You know what? We were talking about the Sentinel.
We have.
It was great. We understood watching how the Sentinel works, but we finally got it into our car, and I got to tell you, that was really awesome. I was able to see every one of my mistakes.
We have hours of them.
We have hours of my mistakes, but we have hours of good stuff too, which is awesome. It actually showed us the speed. Did it show us where we were on track?
We were streaming it
We were streaming it live.
Boring billions of people across the world.
But it was pretty incredible. Plus, on it, you're able to put your insignia, your logos on your app also, and the clarity was amazing. It was really easy to put in, easier than I thought it was.
I know you kept making a big deal out of it. I'm like, it's really not that hard. Until we focused on it, it wasn't too bad. And then we got some help. It was pretty easy.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty good.
You know what? I like the stream because some of the tracks we go to don't have great cell phone coverage, but it's got a USB stick backup. So I just uploaded the high quality video without the cellular interruption. So if you watched us earlier and said, wow, they got from there to there really quickly, you can watch the real video and see that no, we didn't. It's just a cell phone went out. But
yeah. So the learning curve for me, obviously, I'm slightly techno-Amish. Slightly. When it comes to the wiring and stuff like that, but we get it in, and I love it. We were able to sit there right at the track and watch what we were doing in the car, and that was amazing. Which
was good because if you have a problem with your radio, you can tell, if something is going on that you need to know about. Like a couple times we've had cars come in and we didn't know they were broken. And I know it's hard to imagine one of our cars being broken, but whatever. But you can watch the video, and even with the cell phone coverage we had at that particular event, it was like a 30-second delay. So it wasn't bad. And you can compare multiple drivers because you have each of the stints are broken up. So we got to work on not only our driving, but if we wanted to, we could work on our pit stops and see exactly what we do. And there's some things that we need to talk about as a team. And it was pretty good. Like I said, it takes me, once we got the wiring hooked up for the power, I probably could go from an empty shell to a full up setup running Sentinel, I could probably do that in like 20 minutes.
Mhm.
So you could literally install it in a car before a race. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And we got to see the driver and the front windshield. And if we want to, we can have 3. We can see backwards. Or one of the guys we were going to work with at the upcoming event, he said, could you put a camera on the driver's eyes so we could see what they're looking at? I said, why, yes, I can. Haven't done it yet, but I'll figure it out. I've got time.
Well, I love it.
All right, very well. That sounds like I can buy another one then. Woo! So, Jeff, it's time. Hotel rating game.
Yeah. So we did 2 nights in Bangor, which it's kind of rare that we'll do 2 nights at once. So we stayed at the Grande Bangor, which is kind of a funny name. And it was pretty shit. People have, mentioned that they didn't want to stay at nice hotels all the time. So I said, fine, we're doing the thing. And they low ceilings, no elevator. Most of the doors didn't work. There was apologies on the door that I kept on trying to go into, apologizing for the door not working. They put me next to the loudest ice machine, and it never turned off. Like the loudest ice machine in the history of ice machines. What else? It was just creepy. It was dark.
They were sold out.
They were sold out.
There was not a room to be had in that hotel. Just
because they were like $60 to $80 were less than the rest of Bangor, Maine.
Right.
So,
and the hike to get from the front to the back where your hotel was.
Yeah, it was no joke.
It was. We're just like, they said it's easier just to park at the back door.
The center courtyard had been closed apparently since the beginning of time. But yeah, it wasn't
clean, great, and the beds were comfortable after driving for 12 hours.
I do have to say, yeah.
The guy who checked me in was wearing like a flannel that he had unbuttoned all the way down to his belly button. So that was kind of that was kind of awkward.
Mental, it's almost the same.
Mental deserves more credit than people give him. I like Mental.
Oh, Mental's awesome. But when given a chance to pick on him.
No, true. He just wears kind of tight pants sometimes. That's all.
and cowboy boots.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wear a cowboy hat, so I don't have much room to talk.
That's fine.
Yeah. It was quite a hotel. But like I said, it just reminded me of a regular hotel that just decided to sleep in on a Saturday. That's the whole vibe of the hotel. We're not showering today, but for the most part we're clean. It was just a little tired, but it was fine.
One other weird, I don't know. I had a bunch of weird stuff on my floor. It was smaller than gravel, but bigger than sand. So
ours smelled like smoke. I think we were in the former smoking section.
Yeah,
the pet area or something.
And the pet area. Yeah,
I think the whole place was just the former smoking section.
Yeah.
I think it's the current smoking section.
Did you know that there's two?
There's 2 Bangor Grande
hotels.
Yep, there's 2.
Huh.
And there's one in the center of town. Yes, the one that we have has the conference center in it or whatever. But yeah, the other one puts you dead center in the middle of town. I was like, why does it keep putting us in the middle of Bangor? And then we realized that there's 2. So, shared
interesting.
Names. I know.
It does say that the one that we were at was recently renovated.
It was painted.
Yes, it was.
Define recent,
Yeah. I'm thinking it had like this whole late 80s. Recently, I think the last time that it was updated was probably the 80s. The late 80s. But it was built before that.
One of the guys from the Volvo team with the rusted out bottom they said that they had stayed here at the Bangor Grande like in the early 90s, and they said it's the same.
Yeah.
Recent, whatever.
Yeah.
What was the other one that was a gift? You said there was 2 hotels that were.
Oh no, we just stayed at I guess there was another one named the Bangor Grande. So, but
we didn't
I
stay
don't
at
know
that
about
one.
that one.
Okay, all right.
It was nice. I will say, not that I've done a rally, and I understand, keep moving and staying at different hotels. It was nice staying at the same hotel because you didn't have to pack your stuff up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll mix it up and have loop days where we kind of stay at the same hotel, and sometimes we won't. It all matters what we want to get done.
Yeah,
sounds good. All right, so rally specific questions. Did we have a stop where we got to get some lobster?
No.
I didn't have time.
No, we all didn't have time.
Did not have time. There was not even a lobster roll. We did pass signs where lobster was being sold for $6.95 a pound.
I mean, I did literally put you guys at a place that sells lobster rolls.
I know.
You had to
and
go
you
to
know
their
what?
parking lot.
The guys with the crazy heads on their cars,
they bought them.
They bought them. They just rolled in there.
No, only one of them would. Only Max would, because Larry, the professor, he doesn't like lobster.
Right.
So Max would be like, "You want lobster?" And he'd be like, "No, I still don't want lobster." It's last day, so it's still that, no, I don't want that. So
okay, all right.
Funny.
And then solar weather was cooperating. Did anybody get to see any northern lights while they were out there?
No.
Oh, I didn't even know they were happening. If I would have known they were happening, I would have looked outside.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Did we have any restaurant and or meal highlights? Perhaps food poisoning? Anything? Usual good rally stuff.
We didn't even stop to eat. We just snacked on popcorn and chocolate.
No, and shortbread.
And shortbread. We were handing out shortbread at all the stops, and when there was car clusters.
I'll tell you, when we rolled in Saturday night, we were pretty desperate. It was so late, we were pretty desperate to find a place to eat because everything closed at 9.
Yeah, the latest was like 10, and we got in there like 9:30, and I'm like, we just want something to eat. We're not going to bother you. I think we all ordered almost the same thing. In and out. Yep. That was a day when we did everything in reverse. So, but no, there wasn't. What we did learn is that we need to pack better lunches for when we're on the road, like salady stuff or something like that, for sure. We don't really have time to stop.
Yeah, I my trick is I buy a bag of eggs and those little cheeses that are in the wax because they don't need to be super refrigerated all the time, and those are my calories.
A bag of eggs?
No, grapes.
Oh, grapes.
Okay. Eggs.
A bag of eggs. I might have said eggs.
That sounds awful.
I'm like, I'm not sure a bag of eggs is the way to go for one of these, Jeff. But I mean, you are rally master, so.
No, we kind of snacked our way through.
As Eric says, all food is rally food. On Friday night, actually, I was going to try the restaurant inside of the hotel, but I was sitting with the trash master guys, and the desk had told us that the kitchen closed at 9, and it was like 8:11 or something like that. And the waitress comes over and tells us that the kitchen's closing, and then one of the trash master guys says, "Well, the desk told us it closes at 9." And she goes, "Oh, I'll tell the kitchen to keep it open for you." And at that point, I stood up and said, "Well, I'm going to go eat somewhere else," because they were going to keep the kitchen open for them.
Right.
I was like, "Oh, okay, I got to go." Don't want to be at the kitchen that was asked to stay open.
Nope. Nope. That's the do not insult your waitress. Do not.
Correct. So I left quickly.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I ate that night. I don't think I ate that night. Because I was just like, oh, that's terrible.
There was a Dunkin' across the street, which was very handy.
Yeah, and And I apologize, but I don't like Dunkin' Donuts. I'm sorry. If you've ever, and I don't really pay attention to what I eat very much, but if you look at their sugar content on their drinks, it is insane.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, and then if you were like, yeah. And then if you just like pour that much sugar out into a container, you'll be like, good God. So, America runs on Dunkin' giving America diabetes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You're going to Dunkin' Donuts. You're not thinking health conscious,
Yeah. So usually I try to find like local coffee. There's a good local coffee shop in downtown Bangor. But Bangor is definitely has seen some better days.
Yup.
Yeah.
All right. So ladies, 2 questions for you. Best stop.
Stephen King's house.
Stephen King was good.
Okay.
Stephen King. And do you know what? That easternmost point was pretty fascinating too.
Yeah, that was really cool.
What about almost making it to Canada?
Yeah. Did we? We saw Canada.
We did. We saw it at the easternmost point.
Oh, because your cell phone saw Canada. I saw that.
Yes, it did. Right through there. But we didn't go up to the big checkpoint up to the north.
No, but we were driving along the coast and there was that river at one point we looked across, and that was Canada.
I told everyone not to go to Canada, so.
Yeah.
It never works out and this time the Trashmaster team went and they had their entire car torn apart and searched. Just like I told them they would.
On this one? On this rally?
Even though during the driver's meeting, I was like, it's not worth it. I'm not going to give you any points. So, but they did.
And they got their car torn apart. And we're like, what is this piece of crap?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what happens.
So
that is what happens.
What car for the next rally? I'm assuming you're doing another one.
Oh, gosh.
No, I don't know. I'm not even thinking that far ahead.
You're not thinking at all. I've seen you all day.
I'm pretty tired.
Jeff, car requests. This is your chance. Put it out into the universe and see if it comes true.
Well, the guys in the Volvo 240, they did what I just want everyone to do. They all flew in from different cities, landed, bought a car that they'd never seen before, that was a total piece of shit, and then did the rally. I just think that's great.
And how did that work out?
They got judge's choice.
Oh, that's right. They did make it all the way to the end.
Yep, they did. So that's and they had some serious breakdowns, and they were literally there was one time I was watching them take photos at a checkpoint, and the person went to stand up through the moonroof or the sunroof, and the bottom of the car shifted down. Like the
because that's the one that had the hole in it.
Yeah, it had that much rust on it that it shifted down. So that's just really what I want. That's my favorite thing, is that when you throw caution to the wind and do that. An armored truck would be cool. Garbage truck would be cool. Either really big or really, really small.
So when people do that, and they come in, they fly over, or they fly in, they do that. What do they do with the cars when they're done?
They sold it to the guys with the red MGB.
Okay. $50.
200.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So there's always someone at a rally that's willing to buy someone else's car.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So I still, if I'm going to put this out there, I still want a former Cuban car.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
I still want one of those. And ladies, what about the car I sent you during the rally that I think you should use?
We didn't even get a chance to see it. We were flipping around with phones and stuff.
You commented on it, so
I did. What was it? Tell me.
The little green pea car.
Oh, the little green pea car. That doesn't count.
Oh, come on. That would be awesome.
That was a tiny car.
It was a tiny car.
Quite tiny.
That was a joke car. We were joking.
You're in a rally.
Yeah. Just a big joke. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm like, hello.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Rally Master, it sounds like you had a spectacular rally yet again.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a good time.
Excellent.
We appreciate everything that you do.
New
Mr.
appreciation. And I'm sure there's a whole lot of building on the back end, but man, that's a lot of driving.
Everyone always gives me checkpoints, and I'm like, that's the easy part. The hard part is to get people to call you back.
Yeah.
So it's just to make sure, just to, show up at the museum or show up at the bowling alley.
Or recognize that you have a reservation for 40 at the restaurant. Yeah, we had that happen.
Yeah.
Well, that was, we all showed up at the Sea Dog, but I just kept on handing her $50 bills. So hopefully she was okay with it.
Right.
So that was my plan with her. I just kept on giving her money.
So what's next in the schedule, Jeff?
Well, we're done for the 2023 and 2024 schedule. Usually we wait for the race schedule to come out, but that is being more complicated than it should be. So I think Eric and I are talking about finalizing it this week. So you should see the schedule coming out soon. But I can tell you we're going to have like a reverse Route 66, Santa Monica to Oklahoma City. Okay. And then we're going to cut out all the shitty states. So you're
going to drive into the sun for 3 days?
Yeah. Well, in the morning, yeah. I mean, no matter what, you're driving into the sun.
That's true. Unless you're going north-south, yeah.
Yeah, and that we've only done like a couple north-south rallies. So, so reverse Route 66. We're going to show back up in California, and hopefully California some people will sign up so we don't, leave California again. Mm-hmm. Another Fall Failage, Rust Belt Ramble, and
Escape.
Oh yeah, so Escape from Moscow is going to change. We're probably going to leave from like around the DC area.
That's not Moscow.
Nope. Yeah, we're probably going to change the name. No one got the joke. Everybody asked me why I was dressed like an admiral when I was dressed like Napoleon.
Oh,
so, what's the point of the joke if no one gets the joke?
So, I got one. You know what you do? Go to the Russian embassy in DC.
Not right now, but we're probably going to switch the name up to like. Yeah, I mean, I'm very pro Ukraine.
You're going to escape from Moscow.
Yeah, we'll probably switch it up to Capital Offense or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So, which would be the name of like the one race that they raced at Summer Point. So kind of a throwback to that.
That's awesome.
So that's the plans. Should be fun.
Should be. When do you think that'll come out? In the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, and I have no idea when the race schedule is coming out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to know. Yeah.
That's how you'll spend your winter, right?
Is figuring out the race schedule? No. I have nothing. I am lucky.
No. I meant the next schedule. That's pretty much how you're going to plan it all out.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would like to, pretend that I plan it way ahead of time and don't just plan it like a month ahead of time. But
right.
As long as it gets done, nobody needs to know, Jeff.
Yeah. Well, like I said, checkpoints are easy. I'll start calling places. Once we get our schedule figured out.
Well, that sounds like fun. Thank you for another great rally year, sir.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you guys paying attention.
Somebody's got to.
It was good.
Someone's got to.
So last question, Jeff. What was it like to be judging with somebody who knows cars by what color they are?
You know what? Vicki understands the pain to comfort ratio on a rally car pretty well.
Okay.
So, I mean, compared to Eric, I know nothing about cars, but in the future, I'll probably send the entry list so there could be some Googling. But for me, I just look in the car and I'm like, how miserable are these people going to be? And then I base it on that. Yeah.
That's kind of how I was looking at it.
Yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, you guys are going to suffer here. Let me give you a couple extra points.
Yeah. And then if they have if their theme is there, you give them some points for that.
The car was old and broken. You got a little extra points there.
Yeah. So, definitely not the encyclopedic knowledge. I definitely do not have the encyclopedic knowledge that Eric has. So the rally is, you're not trying to get cheaty parts past me. So the rally's a little bit different.
And, let's be honest, the rally is really about the experience and the journey. It really is.
Yes.
It really is.
Like I had mentioned on Facebook, the rally is defined by each person participating in the rally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's up to you, and it's not up to me.
If you want to do all the sequences backwards and go the longest way possible, follow us. If you want to do it the short way, go find somebody else. That's fine.
If you just want to go to one checkpoint, go to one checkpoint. That sounds great. I hope you had fun.
Yep.
Enjoy. All right, Jeff. Well, we will bother you again. Rally season 2024.
Yep. So probably sometime during February will be the retreat from Moscow replacement.
All right. Very well. Well, thank you again. It sounds like the ladies had a wonderful time. Miss Mary said to say thank you. She had a great time.
She was very entertaining.
She was entertaining. They kept calling her the queen.
Yeah, she was very popular.
All right, sir. You have a great night.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.